I want to say that on record. Anyone who says that they're playing against plumbers makes every one of y'all who didn't make the league, even us, trashmen, garbage collectors.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Think RBA podcast. Before I even introduce ourselves, I'm just going to put it out there. Please like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications, all this new content. Follow your boys. Follow your boys. With that, Mr. Okedon himself, Hak, in the building. Okedon. What's going on?
Man, just living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Yo. I'm doing good.
Yeah?
You know why I'm doing good?
Why is that?
We're going to jump right in.
Let's do it then.
Because we are about to get, finally, The Rock.
If you smell what The Rock.
No, I'm just kidding.
WrestleMania
is over. You just got to get it out of my system.
Okay.
But finally, the NBA playoffs have come back. The 2024 NBA playoffs are upon us. So as we're recording this, today was the last day of the regular season.
Yep.
So just a few short hours ago, everything was put in place.
Yep.
We know all the 1 through 6 seeds. We know who's in the play-in tournament. And so we decided, you know what? We got to jump in, and just like March Madness, we got to build our bracket, and we got to take a look and see who we think make the RBA predictions of who's going to move forward.
Let's do it.
But before we jump into predictions and all that other stuff, we can just jump into that. We got to ease our way.
Sure.
Ease our way into it.
Sure.
So I want to just let me not like recap, but just kind of like go back to the regular season. You know, just think about kind of like, first of all, for me, it was long. Like it just really felt like a long regular season. I don't know why. Like, doesn't it feel like it just happened, like it started a long time ago? November was a long time ago.
Really?
Well, October to me.
You know what? You know why I think it felt a little different this year? Because we had a tournament when the season began.
Oh,
and I feel like that's what kind of is maybe where this feeling is coming from. Potentially, right?
I don't know. It feels like that was so long ago.
We had a what was it? The play-in.
The play-in.
Play-in?
No,
not the play-in.
No, the in-season tournament.
The in-season tournament, right? We began with a tournament, and now we're about to go into it. Then we had a March Madness tournament. Now we're about to go into another
now we're going into the real tournament.
The real tournament, right?
The real tournament where the big boys play.
I don't know. That first in-season tournament was a nice tournament.
I mean, yeah, though. We had the Lakers coming up clutch, coming up strong.
And that was like pre-March Madness, or October Madness.
NBA Madness. Yeah.
Was it October Madness?
No,
November Madness?
It was November, December Madness.
There you go.
No, I mean, we talked about that. There's an episode in the archives. Yep. We're not going to rehash everything that happened in the in-season tournament, but we felt like overall it was pretty successful, right? I mean,
I think it was very successful.
Something different, something unique to kind of sink our teeth into. I look
forward to it again next year.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It's only going to get bigger and better.
So let's talk about this then, because after that, we had kind of broken it down. Like in the beginning of the season, you're excited, but then it kind of falls off. This is before the in-season tournament. And you kind of have a little pick-me-up at All-Star, and it kind of falls off, and then you get to the playoffs, right? It's the ebbs and flows.
This All-Star wasn't a pick-me-up. This was a let me down.
So that's where I was going with this. Is could you reshape the All-Star weekend around an in-season tournament? Because the All-Star game is not competitive anymore. At this point, we are just selecting All-Stars just to select All-Stars. But how many of us want to sit and watch them just shoot threes for 60 minutes? And score 200 points. So
I think the in-season tournament where it is actually great. The All-Star game technically was already fixed, and they rebroke it. Because when you go back a few years ago, I don't remember that super competitive one when Kobe had just passed away. And that one you have to reach a number point, and the winner would get, the charity would go to that, the amount will go to that charity, the winnings and all that. That game got so competitive, and it was so much fun to watch. It's one of the greatest games I remember to this day. This was a few years ago. It's like the dunk contest, right? You remember the Zach LaVine dunk and Aaron Gordon dunk contest. You remember the Vince Carter dunk contest. I remember that All-Star game.
So that's fine. It sounds good. It's nice. however, Adam Silver has already come out and basically said the likelihood of us seeing another competitive All-Star game is slim to none. So
then just make it forget the All-Star game and make it all events like 3-point contest, and it just kind of add a new event in there.
So I think that you still see. I think you have the in-season tournament. This would be my proposal: is you move the in-season tournament to leading up to All-Star. So it's not quite in February, probably be in like January timeframe, right after Christmas. And then you have the games that kind of gear up for the in-season tournament. And then you have the All-Star Saturday night. You still have the same festivities with the change that we put the 3-point contest as the final contest, the marquee event, and expand it out. I think they need more than 2 rounds. I think they need to expand it out a little bit as well. And also, like we talked about on the I think it was the last episode, the March Madness one recap, where add in some of the best women shooters, the Sabrinas and the Caitlins and everybody else. And then you have the in-season tournament championship game on Sunday. And so you can still denote all-stars, right? Like on paper, and maybe have them incorporated into some events on Friday, Saturday night of All-Star weekend. And then they're all-stars on paper, but you do the in-season tournament game. And then everybody gets some time off for the next week or so.
In theory, I like it, but I think in practicality, it'd be an issue because if you have the in-season tournament and you and as the winning teams, the last thing you want to do is go and now participate in the All-Star. You want time off. You want to rest.
Well,
and they'll
get it afterwards. They get it now.
But what I like about the in-season tournament where it is that it's at the beginning when things are just dull. I want to see it in the beginning. And then you have Christmas games. Then you have the All-Star game. But in the All-Star game, what my proposal would be, this is a great opportunity to mesh in WNBA. Do an NBA/WNBA hybrid where you bring in those WNBA shooters in the All-Star game. Forget you can just remove the All-Star game altogether.
Yeah, but then we're not going to have a game.
Who cares? I'm not watching the game going forward anyway. I can care less.
I want to see a competitive game.
I'm not watching an All-Star game. I have officially boycotted after this nonsense I saw.
But if it were the in-season tournament championship that is going to be competitive.
But the problem is that there's a dull period.
That game was.
But
so what? There's always been a dull period.
But this is where they fixed that issue. The dull period's over now. When the All-Star game comes, that's when you bring in the WNBA. Now you get to market them even on a bigger stage in front of more eyeballs. And this way you bring in those shooters that soon to be Creighton Clarks, the Sabrina Ionescu and all. They come in, they participate with the men in a skills competition.
That's fine.
In who knows? I don't know about the dunk competition, but in the 3-point competition, we spread that out even further.
Okay.
And then you can have an NBA, like a men's All-Star game and a WNBA All-Star game in the same weekend.
But even then, you're not going to watch it.
I'm not. But this is a way to just kind of get the marketing out for the WNBA and to really give them the boost that they need.
Well, because remember, their seasons don't align, so their All-Star game's not going to happen.
At this point, even if the big 3 gets recruited to participate in the NBA All-Star game, I will watch that before I watch the NBA All-Star game.
So I'm with you on the incorporation into the skills challenge, everything else, like get the best of the best to be part of those. But I mean, I don't care about the dull period because in November, and like for a lot of us, we watching football anyway.
See, I'm not.
So, but you're not. But you're not. But like.
So this is why, like for me, that's what suits me though as a customer, right? That doesn't suit you as a customer.
But were you watching every tournament game in November? No.
Was that what?
Were you watching every tournament game in November? No.
Yeah, but it's not like everybody watches every football game. So
no, I'm just saying. So like, I think that, and there's other things you could do if that were really a concern. But to me, is you need to get a competitive game that weekend. You have.
There's no such thing as a competitive game.
But you can't. There is. If you put the in-season
I like it where it is. I want to see where it is.
Championship game.
I'm good with where it is because then March Madness fills at the other gap. And then you have that because then if you have a February in season, then you have an immediate March. That's too much.
March Madness is college.
That's too much though. It's too much.
Too much excitement for you.
Too much happening at the same time. I'm good with the excitement.
No.
Before the season, before the year ends.
No.
Then you get excitement right March Madness. Then you get at the middle of the middle of the summer. That's perfect for me.
Then but again, so you have an All-Star weekend that you're not actually watching the marquee event.
Of course I am.
You're not. No, the marquee event.
contest.
No, the marquee event is supposed to be the All-Star.
I don't count that as a marquee event. They broke that themselves. And as you said, if Adam Silver came out and said that, then they broke it. It's over.
All right. Well, we're not going to fix this in one episode for sure. But,
we already did. No,
yeah, we put the in-season tournament there.
No.
Make it at because that game between Indy and the Lakers was so competitive. If you would have put that on All-Star Sunday, oh my God, ratings would have been through the roof.
So if you go back and watch our original episode of the in-season tournament, my man's here was raving about the timing of it. So you know.
But then
hindsight is 2020.
No, hindsight. But you learn and adjust. RBA,
correct.
You adjust.
However, there's the adjustment here needed is that you go back to the old format of the All-Star game.
But that's not even going to work either.
Of course,
they don't care.
They may not care, but that's the way it was corrected.
All they want to do is go and chill. They don't want to play.
Guess what's going to happen?
Guess who wants to play? The teams that win the in-season championship.
Guess what's going to happen, though?
They have an incentive to play.
And they did. And
I
we
know,
watched
and
them.
I
It was beautiful in November.
All-Star weekend. I don't want to watch it in November.
This is just the timing of it. I'm good with it.
I don't want to watch it in November.
I'm good where that is.
Now that I've experienced it, because like you, there's no incentive for me to watch the All-Star game moving forward. But I want to watch. Like, I want that whole weekend to be special.
I'm done with it. I'm over with it.
Okay.
I've been disappointed enough years in a row. 3 strikes are out with me.
But I mean, the same with the dunk contest too.
3 strikes. I stopped watching that
so
too.
You're just gonna tune in for the 3-point and call it a day.
That's it, pretty much. That's good for me.
Like that's what I'm saying. The whole thing needs to be fixed.
Unless something drastically changes or they come up with this amazing new thing, I'll give it a shot.
The whole All-Star weekend has to be revamped. Like it has to be revamped to make it more exciting.
Well,
it has to.
Well, they have a job in front of them.
They have a job in front of them. I mean, they can hire me. I'm more than willing to help.
Absolutely. Hey,
I know how to at least get one competitive game in there that weekend.
Think RBA can absolutely help with that.
They don't give a shit what we have to say.
Hey.
But anyway, so okay. Now that we've unraveled that, take a deep breath. So with this season, just kind of how things have played out, without getting into spoilers on like predictions and things like that. To you, like what was the biggest surprise of the season for you? Because it's been an interesting season.
It has. I mean, if I go try to recall everything that happened, I mean,
so for me, I just
without going into the controversies, I guess. No, go ahead.
The controversy. You talking about Ja? No, I mean, like one thing for me that speaks to just how interesting of a season it was the emergence of OKC and Minnesota as top tier teams. I think we all kind of saw, especially Minnesota, like you kind of figured, okay, they got Cat. I need to stop saying Cat because you know that Shorts program puts it as CAT and not KAT. They got Karl Anthony Towns. And then they got Rudy, get the Twin Towers, put some other pieces. You got, Ant growing into the, second coming of, he just looks like MJ the way he plays the game. I'm sorry. He looks like, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to hit that level, but like, if you look at the way he plays.
Tell us more, sir.
Have you watched it? Like, I actually saw a video where somebody like transposed like MJ's movements and his movements, and they're exactly the same. It's like a long lost son or something.
Is that like the Kobe thing they did similarly?
Yeah, similarly. Okay. But just like how like you can look at old head can look at it and say, oh, that's
mirror image of
he moves just like him. But like his emergence was
certainly got the swag that MJ had.
Well, I mean, we expected though, like his emergence. Right. I mean, I don't know that I expected him to be a top 3 team over the likes of, the Denver Nuggets or the Mavs or the Suns even. But here we are. But the one that was more shocking to me was OKC, bro, because you remember they were like the laughing stock when they made that trade for PG and they got Shy back and then all those 85 picks, and they kept trading and making all these picks, and then they drafted Chet Holmgren and then he got hurt, so he came out this season. Like there's just something about OKC and the way they draft, the way they pick coaches, the way like. They're like, even if they dip down, they come right back up to be the number 1 seed in the West, which is a tough conference.
And you know how young all of them are?
It's crazy. Yeah. Like
Very young team.
it's almost like, but it's different than the KD, Russ, Ibaka, Harden days. But it's different because like they just have a lot of really, really good players and one like star. You know what I mean?
Right.
But of course, at that point, nobody really knew Harden was gonna be a star quite yet. He was like a really good six man. Russ was just coming into his own, and KD was a star. So maybe it's kind of more similar than I thought. Now that I'm saying it out loud, but like just the fact that if you would have told me, and we would have made some bets at the beginning of the season that OKC would end up as the number 1 seed in the West, you'd have taken all my money.
I think a lot of people's money would have been lost.
Because I would have been like, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a no.
Right.
And I'm going to put a lot of money on that. There's no way.
Right.
Over the Suns,
Denver,
over Denver,
Golden
Golden State, the Lakers, the Nuggets, or the Mavs, like Clippers even.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Okay.
And here we are. So like for me, those were some surprising.
That's a big surprise to you. You know what my biggest surprise was? Bro, on the world with the New York Knicks landing at number 2 when they were the laughing stock pre-Jalen Brunson. And the other thing that really got me was Jalen Brunson, one of the smallest players in the league, goes and joins one of the worst teams at that time and turns this team around to be a number 2 seed. The Knicks, who we referred to back when in our days, the New York Bricks. Like, come on, man. Like the Knicks were the last team I would ever say would be a top 2 seed. Get out of here. Stop it.
The East is kind of weak though.
And one of the worst teams in the last few years.
Orlando.
I
knew you were
5th seed. How, Sway? How?
Because the East is weak.
But still, man, like if the East is weak, Orlando was the worst.
I know.
They were the worst, bro.
But they were bound to come up as well because they've been the worst for so long. I mean, how many like early first round picks did they have between Banchero and they got the Wagner brothers and then they got what's his name Cole Anthony and
but they've had a lot of these players
but they're young. So again, you have to get that continuity together and then boom.
Yeah, I don't know. Between them and like the Cavs are 4th. Nobody saw that coming.
Nah.
Like
nobody impressed.
And I'm sorry, like the Knicks, that's my most like shocking thing. Like, sorry, Jay. We got love for y'all, but man, come on, man. Like the Knicks 2nd seed.
Yeah.
Get out. Like, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, the only thing is surprising is that they got that over Milwaukee. But when you think about it, like Milwaukee fired their coach in the middle of the season and had that whole adjustment period with Doc and all of that. But
yeah, that was my biggest surprise.
So what is your least
biggest surprise?
Like the least biggest surprise. You're like, oh, okay. Like I expected that.
You sure you want to?
I know where you're going to go. Give me the real answer. You don't need to fire shots. You don't need to fire shots. Give me the real answer. The non-Hawks answer. Because I know where you're going to go. Surprise. The Hawks are the playing game.
Okay. So one of my least surprise? So this whole talk about the Warriors, right? That their time is done.
Okay.
Their time is done. And every year this narrative keeps coming out. However, this year is a little different where it seems like on the surface that the star player may be getting fed up of some antics of one of their role players.
You just called Draymond a role player?
In front of Steph, yes.
Ooh.
And I'm sure he'll say that too. He knows Steph carries that team.
Oh, of course, but he's more than a role player.
Listen, okay, he's a star in his role. Okay. All right.
Words matter.
Words matter. Steph is the star on that team, period, and the end.
Okay.
And like you have said in a previous podcast, Klay's on a milk carton somewhere.
He's like, he'll be there for a game or two, and then he just disappears.
Right.
Like, where is Klay?
Correct. Where's Waldo? Where's Klay? And Dre is starting to maybe he's working on his WWE career now. That could be the transition. Maybe on the next WrestleMania you may see him there. Right? I don't know. But it's what it seems like is that time really come to an end? Potentially, because if he's getting fed up of it, the patience might not be there to put up with that. And if that's the case, I don't want to say this, but you may want to start packing your bags Not immediately, but at some point, if you don't get in line and get right to help this team get back to its winning standards, winning ways, Steph is the only one who's untouchable.
He's going to be heading over to LA.
Wherever he's going. Yeah, to his boy Bron?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But they need the Dre back who helped them get to where they were at without the antics.
So my least surprising thing was that Joel Embiid got hurt again. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shots fired.
But I mean, like, he did. So
you could say that about AD though, right? Like
but he in and out. But you know, because Joel just plays the game so rough. Like, so it wasn't surprising when he went down for a period of time. No, I was gonna say Boston, man. Like, just not surprised.
There was one other thing I saw, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah, like I'm not surprised that Boston took the number 1 seed. Not surprised that they won 60 games again. Like, not surprised that they're not going to win a championship again. I'm sorry. Does that that is another spoiler?
Wow.
I think that this will be the year that it all gets broken up. But I'm not gonna get too far into predictions. So, but like, just not surprised that once again they had a great regular season.
Are you calling them the Utah Jazz of the East? How every year Utah used to be in the playoffs, top like 3 seed, and then playoffs come and they nowhere to be found.
This is a little different though.
Okay,
it's a little different because it's a little different. I don't want to give anything away to predictions when we start talking about them, but let's just say they have more longevity. Getting deep in the playoffs than the Jazz did.
Absolutely, they made it to the finals
and still didn't win. So without winning, like, that's my point. So again, like,
sounds like some other. So there's one more team. My man's gonna. Someday he's gonna attack me on camera or maybe off camera. I don't know.
Here we go.
No, but I'm not going into that. But there's another group. There's another duo of players who when this man joined this team, he was considered a rental. However, he very much proved that he's not a rental. He was not a rental. And he really became one of their core pieces and helped them get to, places where they are trying to get to, right? This is Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Because when Kyrie first joined the Mavs, 1 year rental, he'll be off to somewhere else. Lo and behold, a few years later, he was still there. He's helping them hit left-handed game winners on Jokic. Like, just, and if you watch him as a player, like, his evolution has been beautiful to watch. He was at one point, he was the villain of the league. Now slowly turn babyface, right? Narratives. But that whole dynamic of him coming in and helping turn that team around wasn't something that initially that was, even expected, because you thought he would come in, do his little bit of time and then go off somewhere else. LA was a big, talk at that point. But I was like, man, he would actually help this team a lot because that would take a lot of pressure off so-and-so, right? Luka. And so I'm not surprised by that. That's one I was not big surprised at. And I was one of those initial people who was like, nah, he's here to stay. He's here to stay. He's not a rental. He'll be here for a while and he'll make things happen because Mark Cuban takes care of his people and that's a great fit for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else you want to highlight from the regular season, but I just want to say, because I saw it, right before as we were setting up, 20 straight years, 20 straight seasons of averaging 25 points or more per game for LeGoat, LeBron James.
Wow.
20 straight seasons of averaging 25 plus a game. Like, remarkable.
Oh, truly remarkable.
I don't think it's ever going to be done again.
Oh, I don't know about
There's no way. There's no way anybody. I don't think that anybody's going to have the health longevity to be able to do it.
I think records once they're made can be broken. Right? Records are made to be broken. And I think there will be at some point, maybe not in my lifetime. Maybe in my kids may witness it.
Maybe in the Monstars.
Maybe their kids will witness it. But records are meant to be broken and they will be broken at some point. But for now, what we are witnessing is truly greatness. Truly greatness. And I'm so glad we got to watch this man's career from point A to wherever we are maybe we're at, I don't know, W right now, or wherever we are to the end of that career. But it's beautiful. It's been beautiful to watch.
Yep.
And it's been very picturesque. And it's funny because every time I go through social, like some people bring up his old performances, and you're like, man, y'all forget the dominance this man 2009, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
He was nothing like what y'all see now. And if he's doing this now, what was he doing back then? It's crazy.
Yep.
So yeah, much respect to LeBron.
Much respect.
Yeah,
So anything else you got to wrap up the regular season before we start talking about awards predictions?
You sure you want to ask me that question?
Do you need to get it out of your system?
No, I'm good, man.
If you need to get it out of your system, just go ahead. I will give you 30 seconds. No, literally, I'm watching the clock.
No, I'm good.
I'll give you 30
I'm
seconds to get all the Hawks hate out of your system.
I have no hate against the
Yes,
Hawks.
you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I have much respect for
Then it's either hate against me or it's hate against the
Trae
Hawks.
Young. I have fun just teasing you.
Oh,
it's not hate. It's just love.
Okay.
You know, that's what friends do. They pick on each other, right?
Sure.
That's all it is.
Okay. Well,
So-
if you need to get it out,
Just squeeze.
reminds me of that one Dave Chappelle skit. If you got hate in your heart, let it out. Anyway, all right. Let's just move on to predictions. Chappelle show. Woo! All right.
Wow.
So let's start. Let's save the MVP for last because that's the big one. Let's start with the most recent award. So this award was just put in, a season ago. The 22-23 season. It's called the Clutch Player of the Year. I think that they must have been listening to our old podcast.
Yeah.
When we talk about Clutch all the time.
Absolutely.
The audio version.
Right. And
then they're like, you know what? They're right. We should have a Clutch Player of the Year.
Right.
So De'Aaron Fox won it.
So we still haven't gotten the check though.
We haven't got the check though.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam can run the check.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, who is your prediction for Clutch Player of the Year?
There's only two guys that come to mind, but I think I'm just going to go with the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, how you go against that? I don't know how you go against that. So yeah, I'm going to go with Steph Curry.
So it's interesting because the betting favorite right now, I think, is DeMar DeRozan.
It is. I saw that.
So he's like the betting favorite, but yeah, I'm going to go with Steph just because there's no other award he can go in there. And I mean, he's clutch.
Right.
Clutch can be. So.
Right, exactly. And yeah, DeMar has been clutch for many, many, many years.
Well, but even this season, his percentages on clutch shot, I mean, is remarkable. Don't get me wrong. And I wouldn't be mad if he won it.
I wouldn't either. I'd actually be happy because he would finally get the shine he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, Steph don't need another award, but nonetheless, I had Steph too. So.
But we want to give him anyway.
So we'll give it to him anyway. Yeah. So, all right.
Okay.
All right, let's just go and get this one. This is another easy one. I know we both. There's no other person that could possibly be selected for this award.
Okay.
So we're just going to get it out of the way that we have both selected who will win the Rookie of the Year, and that's Wemby.
Let me think about it.
I wonder who else. I mean, I actually saw a graphic on X earlier today. It was a comparison of him and Braun's first rookie season, and where his numbers. I mean, his scoring is close, somewhat on par. I forget what it is, but obviously his rebounds are up. Like it's just like he's having a monster rookie season. Basically, that's all the numbers say.
Yeah.
But the point of the post was the person said this is the worst he's ever going to be.
Right.
And that's scary.
Right.
For the rest of the league.
Right.
Like that's scary.
Absolutely.
Scary.
I saw a similar post where they compared, I think, the top 10 rookie seasons of like the greatest players, and his numbers were Braun was at 10, and then they had some other, I can't remember every player. Wemby was at 5, and then MJ, the GOAT, was at 1. He had the best rookie, I think 38 points.
It's crazy.
Which is ridiculous.
I mean, he was playing against plumbers, so.
Which makes us garbage men then. I want to say that on record. Anyone who says that they're playing against plumbers makes every one of y'all who didn't make the league, even us, trash men, garbage collectors. All right?
I knew I was going to trigger you with that one.
Just irritates me.
So, all right, Rookie of the Year, we got Wemby. Easy money.
Easy,
There's nobody else is going to win that. Right. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Coach of the Year.
Okay.
This one I think is easy, too.
I think this is easy. It's got to be the OKC head coach. Yeah.
Mark, I'm going to butcher his
last
name.
I'm not even going to try his last name.
Mark Dingelnot?
So I'm
going to try it. I'm going to put myself out there.
You go for it.
and I can get shredded to pieces.
You got the privilege. I don't.
But man, I mean, like I said, I kind of said it in the opening. Like OKC, if you would have told me the beginning of the year, no, I'd be like, you a lying motherfucker.
Right.
There ain't no way.
What you smoking?
Yeah, like I want some of that good, stuff because clearly, like you out there,
right?
And then here we are in reality,
right?
As the season closes out today,
right?
Crazy,
yeah. So
we both have that too. Okay, we on a roll right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with most improved player. There's a lot of candidates for this one. There's a lot of candidates for this one.
Go ahead.
No, you go first. I just gave
who Wemby over both of us.
All right, fine. So for me, I looked at some of the potential candidates and I tried to see who had the biggest jump to me, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the biggest jump to me was Kobe White for the Bulls.
Okay.
Because he went from like 9 points a game to almost 20. He went to 9 to 19 point something. So he went from like an under 10 point per game scorer to an almost 20 point per game scorer. Plus he increases boards, assists, everything across the board. And yeah, I mean the Bulls are in the play-in in the East. But like, I mean, guys like Tyrese Maxey and some other guys. I mean, even like the Hawks. I mean, Bogdan Bogey.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich, Bogey. He was in there. Some people picked him to win the award, but like I feel like he didn't increase his numbers that much, right? Like not as significantly as that.
Right.
You know, there was some other guys like Naz Reid from Minnesota who, again, like the jump wasn't to me as big. I feel like Maxey already got the nod from being selected as an All-Star. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Kobe White.
That's so funny. I didn't think you would do that, but that's exactly who I picked too.
That's so funny.
I was thinking like, and I found similar stats to that, right? Where he practically doubled his production. Yeah. He doubled his production, which was most worthy of the award.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. And then again, getting the opportunity because of the Lonzo injury.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So you get the opportunity.
You take advantage of it.
You have to take advantage. He did. So I feel like he needs to get rewarded for
Absolutely.
that. All right. Sixth man of the year. We don't got any more Lemon Pepper Lou, any more Jamal Crawford out there.
I know, man. It's crazy.
It's a new era.
It's crazy. It's like
who is going to set off the new era? I know.
Wow. And for this one, I went with untraditional, I guess you could say, pick or name. Well, I guess they're all untraditional at this point because those two names aren't in it.
We probably got the same person.
And this is the person you just named him. You just named him.
Oh, okay, then no.
I went with Naz Reid.
Naz Reid, okay.
Yeah, just because one, like I think Karl Anthony Towns went out for a bit. He stepped in, handled business. He kept them at the number 1 seed.
Can I just say something?
He's pivotal, huh?
Yeah, but Naz Reid, he's Jersey represented.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Where
he's you go ahead now. I'll find it while you finish talking about how great Naz Reid is.
Right, because like there's another guy I thought about. Shall I say his name, I guess, or maybe you picked him?
No, go ahead.
Malik Monk. I thought about him, but then I thought about again, like they're also the 8th, 9th seed. So Naz Reid, because they're the number 1 seed, right? He's pivotal in keeping them at that level, accompanying, Ant-Man. So in that sense, I was like, man, this guy, for me, I'm going to go with him. Just a new, fresh name, and I hope he wins it.
Okay. I should have known it off the top of my head because he went to Roselle Catholic High School.
Oh,
and I got some history in the Roselle area.
Close bonds with
close by. So that's why I knew he was Jersey represented. I don't know why I forgot. I knew it was close near where, I used to hang around sometime. In the Roselle area.
Old stomping grounds.
If it wasn't for getting sick, I would have been up there in January for some Christmas visits.
Hey.
But we're doing Christmas visits down in Wildwood instead in a couple of weeks. But that Roselle, Jersey representative. I was like,
I didn't know that.
Roselle Catholic. So I went with the guy you just mentioned, which was Malik Monk. Because again, and especially too, given that because remember he started his little rise with the Lakers.
He did.
He started it with the Lakers.
Yes.
because he came out in 2017. I mean, he's a vet.
He is a vet.
He's a vet.
But you wouldn't
now.
think of him as a vet, though.
But in a lot of those guys, he came from, we just did the March Madness episode. We talked about that Kentucky team. Like, he was part of
on the bench with
those Kentucky
De'Aaron
teams.
Fox teammate.
Right.
Again, to be teammates.
But I think that he just, to me, was a better option at the six man.
Okay. Yeah, either or. I mean, I'm happy. I wouldn't be upset.
Because I just felt like Nas started too many games, in my opinion, to like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. But I mean, he was great. And like, I feel like he's going to get a bag as a starting center. But just seeing Malik, like, who's been grinding it out in the league and actually Nas is a vet too. Been in the league for a minute, not quite as long as Malik, but so I had to give it to the vet. He deserves it.
Yeah, and Malik was at a point in his career where he wasn't getting calls.
Yep.
To now suddenly be not suddenly, but to slowly work his way to becoming a top tier player.
Right.
So
since we at the 40-minute mark, let's just go ahead and say we both got Gobert's DPOY. I mean, let's just go say
I would love to see Wembanyama just squeeze through there, and
I just don't.
Maybe not this year. Maybe
not this year, but I think after. Yeah. But no, I mean Rudy got it this year.
Yeah, especially on the number 1 seed. Like,
so then, who do you got the MVP?
Bruh, as much as I want to see Luka win it,
he's not gonna win it.
As much as I want to see him win it,
I know you do. Just so you rub it in my face.
Oh no! Listen, he's been playing phenomenal. His numbers are off the charts. Like, he's only getting better each year between assists and rebounds. Like, it's crazy how better he's getting. There was all this talk about how he doesn't pass the ball, his assists, because Trae Young can pass the ball. Apparently, Trae Young couldn't get his team to pass the 10th squad. He needed a play-in. Wow. So. I know Atlanta makes me sleep too. So, as much as I want to see Luka win it, I think it's just going to favor again to Jokic. And what's crazy about that is this guy does it as a hobby. He plays the NBA as a hobby. It's not his primary thing. His primary thing is horses. So the guy that's doing the NBA as a hobby is going to win probably his third MVP, which is crazy. So, but I'm going to vote for Luka either way.
So, except for the fact that he's not going to win.
Jokic?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who do you have?
And it's not going to be, I'm definitely not picking Luka. You know,
of course you're not.
Well, if Luka truly deserved it, I'd pick him.
Which he does.
But
any day, every day.
Neither him
over
nor
Trae all day.
Well, we're not talking about Trae.
Correct. He's never in this conversation. You're right.
Neither Luka nor Jokic deserve it over this person.
SGA?
30 points a game. 5.6 rebounds a game, 6 assists a game, 53% field goal shooting.
Wow.
It's SGA.
Yeah.
Bruh, number 1 seed in the toughest conference.
Right.
He beats all of them. There's no way. If he gets robbed, the system's broken. Just point blank period. If he gets robbed, the system's broken.
We've seen it broken before.
We have.
So what are the chances of it not being broken again?
I'm just saying, like, how do you average 30 a game in this league?
Because the narrative is more profitable with the other guy.
And you the number 1 seed. There's no way. It's SGA. All right.
But we'll see.
With that, so let's start with the West. Actually, you want to start with the East because it's probably easier.
Okay.
All right. Play-in, Hawks, Bulls. Who do you got?
Oh.
Bulls.
Really? You're asking me?
Yeah.
And you know my answer.
You got the Bulls.
Of course I do.
All right. So I have the Hawks over the Bulls. Sixers and Heat.
Well, it depends. Is Embiid expected to come back at some point? Is Embiid out for the season or?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Well, if he's back, then I'll take him. Otherwise, I'll take the Heat.
So I have the Sixers over Heat. Okay. So you have
it's contingent upon who.
Well, you got to pick somebody, sir.
Let's just go with the Heat.
All right. So you're going to have the Heat. You have the Heat and Bulls.
Yep.
So I have the, so wait, hold on. So the Heat would have got your 7th seed. So then it would be Sixers, Bulls.
Sixers, Bulls, correct.
Yes.
Then I'll give it to the Bulls.
Okay. So you got the Bulls are your 8th seed.
Yep.
And the Heat are your 7th seed. Okay. So I have Hawks over Bulls, Sixers over Heat, Heat over Hawks. Oh, the Hawks are good in the play-in though. They're playing like they've been in the play-in so much, and they've won every time.
Correct, so much that they play out.
But they've won every time. But they've won every time.
Sure. It's cute. It's cute.
So-
it's cute.
But it's just not the year. It's too many injuries, too much to overcome. Like, it's just, you know how bad it has to be for me to say they're gonna.
I know the fact that you're
Like,
sitting here
we have enough to beat the Bulls, but like, I don't think we have enough to overcome the Heat.
and you yourself said the East is weak.
It is, but it's just been
Wow.
there's a lot of things. I mean, we can get and dive into this in a whole different time, but
Hey, I'll give you 73 reasons.
I'll give you. I got to figure out our ownership's net worth, and I'll give you that many reasons because
that's crazy.
our ownership, as long as our ownership is there, we're not going to be good. I've already accepted
man.
it. It's gotten that bad.
Ouch.
It's gotten that bad.
Ouch.
I mean, like I said, we don't got enough time to even get
I
into
won't rub
it.
salt in those wounds. Then.
So even today, there was stuff that happened. I was like, our ownership is so cheap and terrible. But anyway, okay. So
sorry, Trey. You're wasting.
So you're 1 versus 8. You got
Celtics.
I got the Celtics over the Heat. You're 2-7.
2-7. This is Knicks versus the Bulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it to the Knicks.
Wow.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, man, he's nice.
Okay. I have the Knicks as well. Over the Sixers.
Either way, they're winning.
That's gonna be a good Celtics Heat, Knicks Sixers would be a good series.
Absolutely.
You're 3-6 Bucks Pacers.
Bucks.
I have Bucks over Pacers. The Pacers dropped 157 on us today. Can you believe, sir?
157 points
101
in overtime or like four quarters?
It was 157 to 115 in 4 quarters. 157.
Wow.
Yeah, enough said. And then Cavs, Orlando 4-5.
That one, I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about both teams because I don't watch them. I don't keep up with them.
I mean, the Cavs have
I haven't seen any
Spider.
news on them.
The Cavs have Spider, Mitchell.
And I was going to go with the Cavs, I guess, just out of random, because they're the 4 seed or the 5, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
But
I'm going with Orlando
okay.
with the upset.
Okay.
The young Orlando Magic.
Okay.
So for me, that sets up the Celtics versus Orlando.
Right.
I'm taking the Celtics over Orlando. And then I'm also taking the Bucks over the Knicks.
Okay.
To set up in my Eastern Conference Finals, Bucks and Celtics.
Okay. Then I guess I'm Celtics and Cavs. I'm taking Celtics. And then Bucks and Knicks. I'm going to take the Bucks.
Okay.
Which is the same setup as you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Bucks Celtics.
Yep. Conference Finals.
Okay. Who winning?
Bucks Celtics? You know what? I really want to see Dame make it. So I'm going to go with the Bucks.
I also have the Bucks.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to see this man, like, the reason he left.
The only thing that gives me some pause is I think it's going to be a tough series for Giannis because they got Porzingis. As long as Porzingis is there in the middle, he's going to have a much harder time. Not to say Porzingis is an elite defender, but just his size.
Right.
And getting into the paint. But he can muscle Porzingis around. So maybe he won't. I don't know. But it will not be as easy as some of the other teams.
They do have Middleton, right?
And they got
Dame.
But Boston got Drew.
They got Drew. That's right. That's
So,
right. And the Bucks had Drew, right?
And then they still got Tatum and Brown. And I mean, it's gonna be a tough series.
It is. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a fun one to watch. But I'm rooting for the Bucks too, so I picked them too.
Okay.
So I got the Bucks
in
going
the
to the
finals.
finals. All right, going over to the West. So here's my plan. I picked Lakers over the Pelicans, so Lakers go to the 7th seed.
Okay.
I picked the Dubs over the Kings, and then the Dubs over the Pelicans. So the Dubs go into the 8th seed.
Ditto.
No, it's
What he
crazy.
said.
All of our predictions are the same. All right.
What he said.
So I have OKC beating the Dubs in the 1-8 matchup. Do you?
Okay.
What do you got? Because we got the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
I do.
OKC?
Yep. Absolutely.
Shy beating Steph.
Absolutely.
Woo, I love it. Okay.
Absolutely.
I have the Lakers beating the Nuggets.
Oh, really?
7-2. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm going to go with the Nuggets, man.
Lakers over Nuggets.
I'm going to go with the Nuggets.
We're going to get a full healthy series of AD. We're going to get a full healthy
you willing
series
to put
of
money
AD.
on it?
Let's do it. All right. Clippers, Mavs, 4-5.
Oh, Mavs.
No, Clippers.
Okay.
Clippers are going to get their revenge
Sure.
on for the bubble when they go get their revenge on Luka for that shot.
Kawhi needs to stay on the court long enough.
He will. Don't worry.
And then also Luka kind of owns PG and
That's what I'm saying. They're going to overcome that.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're going to knock the Mavs out in the first round.
Okay.
The 3-6 Wolves Suns.
Oh, Wolves.
I also have the Wolves.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great matchup.
It's gonna be a great matchup.
Yeah. Well, if Beal, Booker, and KD are playing, because they haven't been on the court a lot together.
Well,
So,
and there's also a little drama today. They played today.
oh, do they?
There's a little drama. Apparently, Beal said something, and Ant-Man took some. He didn't back down from it. So
Well, he's not going to back down from
little drama today.
Okay,
So
good. Little
setting
setting the
us up
stage. I love
setting
it.
us up for a good series.
I love it.
Okay, so in my next round, I have the Lakers over OKC.
Mm-hmm.
They're just
Lakers are going to beat OKC.
It's youth versus experience.
Wow.
It's youth versus experience.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna take the Wolves over the Clippers.
Wolves over the
Clippers are it's gonna take everything out of them to deal with the Mavs, and they're not gonna be ready for the Wolves.
Wow. Okay.
Especially defensively with Gobert there at the rim, and then Karl Anthony Towns and Nas and Ant-Man. Nah, they're good.
Wow.
So I have Wolves over Clippers.
Wolves over
setting
Clippers.
up my Western Conference, which is Lakers and Wolves.
Okay. So I guess that may put me at Denver versus who's that?
It should be
Denver versus
the higher seed, the highest.
The Mavs, I guess.
The Mavs, yeah.
Denver Mavs.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Mavs.
Wow.
That's gonna be my upset.
Okay.
That'll be the upset. That Kyrie upset them this year. That's gonna be my upset.
Okay.
And the other one will be, I guess, the Wolves versus OKC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Wolves.
Wow.
Yeah, over OKC.
So you have the Wolves, Mavs, Western Conference Finals.
Yep. Wolves, Mavs.
And I have the Lakers over the Wolves. So I have the Lakers going to the.
You have the
yes, sir.
They're gonna go all the way from the play-in.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man! Wow. Are you sure it's not just the LeBron, thing that's working here? Like sustained greatness. I want him to close. Okay. So what's next then? You have Lakers over Wolves.
I have Lakers over Wolves.
Okay. Then mine will be what? It'd be Wolves versus Mavs, right?
Yep.
Taking the Mavs.
Of course you are. This isn't just, your whole Luka, I love Luka. Oh, Luka's the best.
All right. I know is better than Trey. It's all I care about.
So I have Bucks Lakers. You have Bucks Mavs.
Bucks Mavs.
Who's winning? And how many games? This is it for all the marbles.
All the marbles? I'm gonna give it to. Damn, man! I really want to see Dame get that chip.
Okay.
I want to see Dame get that chip.
So Bucks and how many games?
But you know what's crazy? Both teams have a key player who's won a chip. Kyrie's won a chip. Giannis has won a chip.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the experience there to how to win a chip. It's the other two who are trying to get there.
It's good drama.
It is good drama. I'm going to go with the Mavs.
Of course you are.
I'm going to go with the Mavs. And
okay.
I think they haven't won in a while. And Bucks just recently won. So I'm going to give it to the Mavs. I mean, it'd be ironic too, Mark Cuban sells the team and then they win. It's just one of those damn it.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
So who do you have? What's yours? What's your final?
Lakers over Bucks in 6.
Lakers over Bucks in 6. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you how long. I guess 6 was going to be my bet on that. So Lakers over. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Bucks will have home court. Lakers have to end at 6.
Yeah.
They're going to end at 6.
So is this Bron's final?
Because I also think that it's
victory lap.
I also think it's going to take everything out of the Bucks to get past Boston.
That's true. That is true.
So I think besides the Nuggets, if the Lakers get the 2nd seed and everything panned out with the Wolves, and the Lakers would have the easier path. I say easier because they're dealing with teams that don't have the playoff experience.
Bro, I think
dealing with the OKC and the Wolves, if it pans out that way, right?
Yeah.
And even if they play the Dubs, I'm not let's say the Dubs shocked and upset OKC in the first round. Well, I don't think they end up playing them, but either way, I think the Lakers, I think they're a really, really good 7 team. So I got Lakers.
Okay.
I have Lakers going all the way.
All the way.
All the way. This is the last chance.
That's a bold prediction.
This is the last chance. This is the last ride.
It's the victory lap.
This has to be the victory lap.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, we shall see.
He wins one more. It's number 5.
Mm.
And then he can go wherever Bronny comes. And it don't
Well,
matter.
there's talks about him not being ready, apparently.
Yeah, well,
But
we'll
that's a separate conversation.
So, all right, predictions locked in.
Yes,
Again, we're recording this. The regular season just ended tonight.
Final to the
No
season,
playing games have happened yet. They all happen this week. Playoffs start next Saturday.
Yes.
And we're going to be ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right. Anything
All right,
else, sir?
That's it, man, sir.
All right. As always, as we said in the beginning, like, follow, subscribe, ring-a-ding the bell. Get all this fresh content every time it comes out. And until next time, peace.